Senator Manchin is on the phone. Speak to me, Senator Manchin.
I'm on video for you, Mr. Chairman, just for you. I found a video that worked, and I came to make sure I could see you in person. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate very much. Mr. Thompson, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your over 23 years of service in the United States Army and the West Virginia National Guard. I'm honored to have the opportunity to meet you and proud to be a West Virginian because of veterans like you who have made unimaginable sacrifices for our country. Your testimony sheds light on so many problems veterans are facing when it comes to toxic exposure, but one in particular grabbed my attention. You wrote that you do not qualify to receive your retirement until age 60 because your injuries were not combat related. To me, this is just one part of a larger issue when it comes to toxic exposure. We're not providing parity between active duty and reserve component service. So my question would be, what can Congress and the VA do to ensure that veteran families are taken care of and receiving the benefits they are entitled to after our veterans are gone? Mr. Thompson?
Yes, sir. I would say just make sure that the benefits that are there, are the same across the board. Because the way I felt after I was told that is that it's cheaper to send a National Guard soldier over to get injured or killed than it is an active duty soldier.
Oh my God. It's hard to believe.
And exactly how I felt. And I'm not asking for anything special. None of us are. It's just, if we're going to, we do this. When I put on that uniform, I gave 150%.
Well, let me just say.
So when I take off that uniform, I expect 50%.
Right, Mr. Thompson, let me just tell you this. There's not a member on the Veterans Committee, Democrat or Republican, there's sure not our chairman or our ranking member that doesn't believe that the fairness should be across the board, and we have all the respect because all of us have have National Guards that we basically love and support. So you making this testimony, hopefully will make the changes that need to be made. My follow-up question to you would be, I'd like to say to you and all West Virginians who are service members or veterans that I'm going to keep fighting for your access to health care and benefits on both my role as the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee and the Armed Services Committee. So I just thank you for your service. I said that I'm proud to represent one of the most patriotic states in the nation. As you know, we have a lot of veterans on a per capita basis, one of the highest in the country. So, Mr. Thompson, thank you so much, sir. I just can't thank you enough. And your testimony, I think, Bill, is going to make a big difference in what we're going to do and how we can make the changes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. I'd like to address this to Mr. Shane Learman. Mr. Learman, first I want to thank you personally for all you have done and been doing to help us with the Veterans Burn Pits Exposure Recognition Act. I know you've been working tirelessly behind the scenes with my staff and Senator Sullivan's. I know you'll agree that we need to pass this legislation as soon as possible to ensure our veterans have the access to care that they desperately need. So my question would be, can you outline some of the consequences in the short and long term if we don't pass this bill and the VA does not concede veterans exposure to the specific toxins of burn pits?
Thank you, Senator. Unfortunately, if we don't pass this, we're going to continue on the path we've been on for 20 years. And that means numerous veterans exposed to burn pits will continue to suffer from those illnesses. They'll still be continued to be denied health care, and we won't get any closer to establishing presumptive diseases. So if we don't do anything right now while we wait for presumptives or find other science that we need to establish, millions of veterans exposed to burn pits will continue to suffer without VA health care, without the peace of mind for benefits for their families when they pass due to those diseases.
Let me just thank you. And Mr. Chairman, let me just finish up by saying to you, Ranking Member Moran, that part of the reason I've enjoyed working in the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee is because regardless of our party, we always find a way to come together to support our veterans in the most bipartisan way. I'm proud that has been the case with the Veterans Burn Pits Exposure Recognition Act. Senator Sullivan and I reintroduced. We have 18 co-sponsors and almost half of the committee signed on. However, of those 18, only 6 are Democrats. We must do better. I'm calling on my Democratic colleagues on the committee to make joining the important piece of legislation a priority. And I know you can lead the charge, Mr. Chairman, as you always do for the right cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Manchin. Senator Sinema, I understand you're on.